Here at CES, it's about winding down the day and heading over to Panasonic to see what they got there. And it was closed. What's up guys, Javen here with Tech Unit, and this weekend we went to CES. So if you don't know what that is, that's the Consumer Electronics Show that's held in Las Vegas every January, where a lot of companies, especially bigger companies, get together to show off their best products, including prototypes that will come out in the future. Among these things, you'll find your 8K TVs, your holograms, cars with holograms, and all sorts of other crazy things that probably won't come out in the near future. But there are other companies like Huawei that are basically showing you what's coming out this year and why you should go with their company. So their booth was pretty eye-catching, so I had to check it out, and I ended up spending a lot of time there because they had some pretty interesting things that I wanted to check out. The foremost of these things being their newest phones. So I've always been a kind of a fan of Huawei and how they like to clone the higher end brands like Samsung and kind of make them more affordable. And they've done that definitely this year. They have the Honor 6X, which gets the job done and looks fantastic while doing it at a very small price point of only $250, which rivals the price of the OnePlus X. And personally, this phone looks a lot better than the OnePlus X. Granted, the OnePlus X is a little bit older, it's last year's model, but either way, this phone does a very good job for its price. They also have the VR setup, which they made the Google Daydream VR. They were the makers, so they're obviously got a firm hold on the VR world. One of the other things they came out with was the Porsche design Mate 9 model of their phone, which is basically just a really fancy version of their phone, as well as their wearables. They have the Huawei Fit, which looks kind of like a round Apple Watch mixed with Moto 360 and the screen of a Pebble Watch. But for Fit, it seems like a good thing, and there's definitely some improvement that they can make, and they definitely will make it. But the one product I thought really stole the show for me was the Huawei Mate 9, the standard edition, mostly because their partnership with Leica made them really interesting to me, and I definitely had to check out this phone. I'd heard a lot about it, and when I got my hands on it, I realized it had a really good design. Obviously, it had those dual cameras, which I'll get into later. It has the latest version of Android 7.0 Nougat with their EMUI 5.0 software on top of it. Normally, I don't like skins, but their skin is actually pretty tolerable, and I think I would probably just leave it. Of course, there's the camera, which after using it for a little while, it's really nice to see how they use the dual cameras, and you can do a shallow depth of field as well as a bunch of other really great features that make photo taking a lot easier. So on top of the camera, you have the specs for the camera, which is a 20 megapixel back shooter that is pretty impressive, with a 8 megapixel front shooter that takes pretty decent pictures as well. So this phone has a 4000 milliamp hour battery, 5.9 inch 1080p display, so it's got a really nice look to it. It's got a supercharge, as they say. It's not Qualcomm's quick charge, but is comparable to it. They say you can get 20 minutes for a whole day of usage, which I'm not sure how true that is, but I'd be willing to try it out. So this phone overall was a really nicely made phone, and I could definitely see myself picking this one up. It's got 4 gigs of RAM. They're using a Kirin 960 processor, which I am not sure about. I'm usually used to the Snapdragon series, so I'll definitely have to do some stress testing on that processor. But overall, it was really nice, and it definitely has micro SD expandable storage, which is heaven sent in a time when they're all just pre-built storage. So I really enjoyed that, and overall the experience was really positive, and I definitely hope to check this phone out in the future. Alright guys, so that was a hands-on look at the Huawei Mate 9 live at CES 2017. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for some more videos, especially about the Mate 9 coming soon. Until next time, this is Javen with Tech Unit, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Okay, so CES, one of the most rushed years of my life. Took 12 years off of my life, I'm absolutely sure.